There's something magical about flipping through an old family cookbook, the kind with butter stains on the pages and notes scribbled in the margins. Back then, meals didn't need to be fancy or complicated. They were quick, comforting, and made from whatever you had in your kitchen drawer. Today, we're dusting off those faded pages and taking a warm stroll down memory lane. This is 12 forgotten 10-minute recipes you could only find in old cookbooks. 1. The Egg and Bread Supper. In the days before takeout and microwaves, supper often meant simplicity. The egg and bread supper was a quick fix: torn pieces of bread soaked in milk, seasoned, and cooked with a whisked egg on top. It filled the kitchen with a soft, buttery aroma that felt like home. Housewives loved it for how fast it came together, especially during the Depression when every crumb mattered. Today, it's nearly forgotten, replaced by frozen dinners and instant noodles. 2. Tomato toast. Long before avocado toast made its debut, there was tomato toast. Thick slices of garden tomatoes sprinkled with salt, pepper, and a touch of sugar, all laid on buttered bread and toasted under the broiler. It was summer on a plate, bright, tangy, and comforting. Farmers and factory workers alike would make it when they came home late, hungry, and tired. Its disappearance? Mostly thanks to the rise of fast breakfasts and store-bought spreads. 3. Creamed chipped beef on toast. Often called SOS by soldiers during World War II, this creamy, salty dish found its way into countless American kitchens after the war. It took just minutes to prepare. Dried beef simmered in a rich white sauce, then poured over crisp toast. It was hearty, easy, and reminded families of home-cooked meals even when times were tough. Today, it's a rare sight, living mostly in military memories and old diner menus. 4. Mock apple pie. During the Great Depression, apples were a luxury, so resourceful cooks made pies using crackers instead. Ritz crackers, sugar, and lemon juice, baked until they tasted surprisingly close to the real thing. It was sweet, clever, and pure American ingenuity. Mock apple pie disappeared as soon as fresh produce became easier to buy, but it stands as a beautiful reminder of creativity born from hard times. 5. Cornmeal mush. This humble dish was a breakfast staple from the 1800s through the 1950s. Boiled cornmeal, a pinch of salt, and a drizzle of syrup or butter, that was all you needed. Some families would fry the leftovers for dinner, turning it golden and crispy. As boxed cereals took over breakfast tables, cornmeal mush quietly faded from morning routines. 6. Ham salad sandwich spread. Every refrigerator had leftover ham after Sunday dinner, and nothing went to waste. Chopped ham mixed with mayo, pickle relish, and a dash of mustard became the famous ham salad. In less than 10 minutes, you had the perfect sandwich filling for lunchboxes and picnics. The rise of deli meats and prepackaged spreads pushed this one aside, but one bite could take you right back to Grandma's kitchen counter. 7. Vinegar pie. This old-fashioned dessert might sound strange today, but during lean years, vinegar replaced lemons to add tartness. Sugar, butter, and eggs turned it into a silky, sweet custard with a tangy kick. It was quick, affordable, and surprisingly delicious. As modern baking ingredients became cheap and plentiful, vinegar pie became one of those charming curiosities you only hear about in history books. 8. Peanut butter bread. When rationing hit during World War II, cooks turned to peanut butter for protein and flavor. Peanut butter bread was a no-yeast loaf you could mix and bake in just 10 minutes of prep. It came out nutty, dense, and perfect for toasting. Families loved it for breakfast or snack time, especially with a pat of butter on top. But like many wartime recipes, it quietly disappeared once life and sugar returned to normal. 9. Creamed peas on toast. Once a staple in small-town diners and family tables, this dish was pure comfort. Sweet peas simmered in a creamy sauce, poured over toast, sometimes with a slice of bacon on top. It was simple, nourishing, and warm, the kind of meal that made rainy days better. It vanished as frozen dinners and TV trays replaced quick stovetop meals, but its spirit lives on in every comfort dish we still love today. 10. Jellied salads. Ah, the crown jewel of 1950s potlucks, bright, wobbly towers of gelatin mixed with fruit, nuts, or even vegetables. These salads were colorful, quirky, and strangely elegant. They took just minutes to prepare and made every dinner table look like a magazine ad. But as tastes shifted toward fresh greens and lighter fare, jellied salads became a nostalgic relic of post-war optimism. 11. Fried apples and onions. Sweet met savory in this curious dish that once graced many southern tables. Sliced apples and onions fried together in butter, the flavors danced between caramelized and tangy. It was quick to make, comforting, and perfect alongside pork chops or biscuits. Today, it's almost unheard of, yet it represents the kind of simple, soulful cooking that defined old American kitchens. 12. Cocoa pudding. Before instant chocolate mixes existed, cocoa pudding was a quick homemade treat. Just milk, sugar, cocoa, and cornstarch whisked together over the stove until thick and glossy. It filled the room with the scent of warm chocolate and comforted anyone who had a long day. It faded away with the rise of instant desserts, but one spoonful could still make you feel like a kid again. Maybe these old recipes weren't glamorous, but they were real, born from love, necessity, and creativity. They remind us that good food doesn't need to be complicated, just made with heart. If you enjoyed this little trip back in time, don't forget to give this video a like, share your favorite old recipe in the comments, and subscribe for more stories from the past, here on American Rewind.